is it that we had missed the step? What is it that was happening before that is not happening now, that is leading to all these crises that we're having here? Understand that the security challenge is not only in the Middle Belt. It's still every part of this country has one kind of security problem or the other. That was why I was alluding to the fact that we have to relook at our whole security architecture to see if what we have in place is serving us well, or do we have to retweak it, reform it to make them more effective. I have been one of the proponents of having state police because I believe that Nigeria is, overwhelmingly under-policed. I saw the soldiers, after the incident arrived. That is not the job of a soldier. There's a difference between policing and soldiering. But because our police has been ineffective, probably underfunded or not well trained, they have not been able to, assume full constitutional responsibility as enshrined in their part in the Constitution to effectively police the country. So some of us have been saying, look, if we have state police, there's possibility that they could be, one governor or the other could misapply them, just like we equally have at the federal level, where some presidents equally misapplied federal police. But the overriding advantage far outweigh the disadvantage of that. You have to effectively police the place. Okay? We have to cut off arms. We have to ensure effective policing. And then we have to look at the root causes of this problem. Why we need to stop migratory movement of animals in the first place.
Just before because you're already talking solutions now, which of course is needed at this point. I mean, when people have died, what you're trying to do is ensure that many more do not go.
Of course.
But what's very disturbing for a lot of people is that the Plateau before now had been quiet. But it would look like in recent times, the peace has been disturbed. Just 3 weeks ago, we saw what happened in Miango, where how many people were killed. And these people were supposedly under the protection of security agencies.
Correct.
We did understand that the security agencies did try to repel an attack. Then 30 minutes later, the attackers eventually succeeded and people were mowed down. So there are questions. And when you also listen to the side of the very first guest, the chairman of Mieti Allah in the state, and listen to him saying that people have been going missing their members have been going missing in different parts of the state.
Correct.
You have to ask, has something been going on quietly underneath, underreported perhaps, and could be serving as fodder for this new source of conflict that we're seeing?
It goes back to what I said earlier. The country is not effectively being policed. If something is going on there and we have effective police in our country, it's the responsibility to, especially when there has been threat that something is going to happen. What action was taken to identify who made the threat? Where is he? What action did we take to bring that person in, to know who he is and why he was making that threat? You see, these kind of pieces that we are missing here and there are the reasons why, these things are occurring. And when they occur, I believe in, you have to, as a law enforcement officer or security officer, your job is to preempt and prevent crime. But what is happening in Nigeria is you see you also reacting after an incident has taken place. And that is not how you police a place. You have to preempt and prevent crime. Yeah, you came in after the incident has taken place to reassure the community. But those people who are dead have not been, you can never ever reassure them again. That is why we have to do whatever is possible to preempt and prevent crimes before they even take place. And it's much more bigger than what has happened in a Plateau state. I am not in any way trying to diminish what has happened, but what I'm trying to tell you is that we have more than what is happening there. What is happening there is a manifestation of decades of negligence as a consequence of corruption to build on infrastructure, critical infrastructure that could have assisted our law enforcement and security operatives to properly investigate crime. For example, now, say you go back to that place where that incident took place and you're able to find some shells or you're able to find some bullet. How do you identify which weapon fired what and who fired it? Assuming there were some fingerprints there, how do you identify the person who owned, the people who own those fingerprints? These are the little things that we are missing that are making the job of law enforcement and security people very, very complicated in this country. So you have nothing to fall back on. If you go to that crime scene right now, there will be evidence. You can gather pieces of evidence, and in a well-advanced country, it is those minor evidence that will not give the security operative, the first lead of which way to go.
So what do you make of the